Fair Use Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. September 26. Our children. The alcoholic may find it hard to reestablish friendly relations with his children. In time, they will see that he is a new man, and in their own way, they will let him know it. From that point on, progress will be rapid. Marvelous results often follow such a reunion. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 134. While on the road to recovery, I received a gift that could not be purchased. It was a card from my son in college saying, "Dad, you can't imagine how glad I am that everything is okay. Happy birthday. I love you." My son had told me that he loved me before. It had been during the previous Christmas holidays when he said to me while crying, "Dad, I love you. Can't you see what you're doing to yourself?" I couldn't. Choked with emotion, I had cried, but this time when I received my son's card, my tears were tears of joy, not desperation. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, September 26. When I first came to Al-Anon, I thought that anger, resentment, jealousy, and fear were bad feelings. The program has helped me to learn that feelings are neither good nor bad. They are simply a part of who I am. I have come to realize that good has sometimes come as a result of those feelings. Anger has prompted some constructive changes in my life. Resentment has made me so uncomfortable that I've had to learn to combat it. As a result, I have learned to pray for other people. Jealousy has taught me to keep my mouth shut when I know I will say only irrational, destructive things. And fear has been perhaps my greatest gift because it forces me to make conscious contact with my higher power. Now that the negative has become the positive, I am better able to accept the whole picture. There is no more need to judge or hate myself just because I experience a human feeling. Today's reminder. Feelings may not be comfortable, but that doesn't make them bad. With a change of attitude, I have choices about what to do with my feelings. Anything can be used for my good if I allow it. Recognizing this opportunity may take every ounce of imagination I have, but maybe that's why God gave me imagination to begin with. There is a quote from In Our Affairs, and it reads, "My feelings are neither right nor wrong, but are important by virtue of being mine." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, September 26. Seeing ourselves in others. It will not make us better people to judge the faults of another. Basic text, page 38. How easy it is to point out the faults of others. There is a reason for this. The defects we identify most easily in others are often the defects we are most familiar with in our own characteristics. We may notice our best friend's tendency to spend too much money. But if we examine our own spending habits, we'll probably find the same compulsiveness. We may decide our sponsor is much too involved in service, but find that we haven't spent a single weekend with our families in the past 3 months because of one service commitment or another. What we dislike in our fellows are often those things we dislike most in ourselves. We can turn this observation to our spiritual advantage. When we are stricken with the impulse to judge someone else, we can redirect the impulse in such a way as to recognize our own defects more clearly. What we see will guide our actions toward recovery and help us become emotionally healthy and happy individuals. Just for today, I will look beyond the character defects of others and recognize my own. Today, Emotions Anonymous, September 26. Reflection for today. Learning to use the letters HOW has made me see things with a different perspective. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness have helped change my life in so many unexpected ways. My days are almost always good. There are a few bad days yet, but those bad days are so much better than what I used to call my good days that the change is remarkable. It is a pleasure to start a new day because life is great. Certainly, there are stressors, but I have learned how, HOW, to cope. Meditation for today. Never let me forget how useful how is. Today, I will remember how it used to be before how. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. September 26. Humility. With humility, we become more thoughtful in our decisions, and we are slower to anger. We begin to become actors rather than reactors to life's situations. BRB page 224. As children, we may have been humiliated and told we didn't measure up. As we grew, we decided we needed to prove our worth. When we accomplished things, we expected validation. Most decisions we made were geared to gaining this outward affirmation. If anyone disagreed with us, it felt like an attack. We lashed out and tried to punish them. We may have even further reacted by increasing our efforts to prove our worth. In ACA, we learn about humility and that it has nothing to do with humiliation, a core wound. ACA teaches us that humility is the way to inner peace and finding our true self. If we do something for others, the world doesn't have to know. We don't need accolades. And where it was second nature for us to react first and lash out, we now take a step back and examine reality. This change is not easy. Our insecurities and triggers are often just below the surface, and we can fall into old patterns. But when we use our new tools, we have more self-awareness. We learn to look into the mirror and feel at peace with what we see. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I will remember that humility keeps me grounded and on equal footing with those around me. I don't have to be greater than to have value." Share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be. And remember that you are not alone. and that recovery is possible, one day at a time.